Sorry, we are virtual again this year. However, I have high hopes we will be back in person soon. We have over 100 graduating students that the Brewer Center has honored this year. And that is a lot considering most of these students have done their service during the pandemic.
Woo, woo.
Woo, woo, yeah, give a woot woot for that.
Yeah.
We have over 91,000 hours of service. I just want you to think about that for a second. 91,000 hours of service this year, despite many pandemic restrictions. So I want to just take a moment and congratulate all of our students and let them know that not only do we deeply appreciate how they represent them out in the community, but we know our community's partners deeply appreciate all that our students are able to give. We've had quite a year. We've had a lot of dialogues, everything from the COVID vaccine to Roe versus Wade. We talked about critical race theory, talked about a lot of different topics, and I hope that we will continue on that journey together. On June 15th, we are going to have our summer series start, and on June 15th, we'll talk about Juneteenth. For our July, we are going to be talking about some of the events that have recently happened. As I'm sure some of you have seen in the news, with mass shootings, some white supremacy issues, etc. I think these are important things to continue to talk about and continue to support each other as we see these things unfolding between us. And then we will have one last dialogue, summer dialogue in August before we kick the year off. And we are really hoping, we're planning to do it, and we're hoping to be able to be hybrid with our upcoming dialogues. So we will be able to continue to incorporate those who can't be with us in person, but hopefully be able to spend some time having these challenging conversations together. So with that, I would be remiss if right off the bat, I didn't thank Sue Meager so much. She's a program aide in our office, but that title doesn't even begin to describe everything she does. Sue has not missed a beat. She has been in the office every day that she was supposed to be with us for the past 2 years. During COVID, she kept the food pantry open. She helped us get meals out to students that were going to spoil in the cafeteria. She has helped keep our community partners connected to us and has been invaluable to the Brewer Center and everything that we are doing. And so thank you, Sue, and you're gonna get to hear from her tonight. And then I wanna recognize Michelle. Michelle actually just started with us a week ago today, although I know many of you know her from all of the work that she's done on the campus, whether it's in academic advising or time as a student and an award recipient as a student involved in civic engagement. So we are so excited to have Michelle with us and really excited for that the partnerships that we're going to be able to forge within the community in what I would love to start calling a post-COVID world, but don't want to jump the gun on that either. I also want to recognize our students, Gio, Daniel, Kane, Hannah, many of our students who really helped us be able to have some continuity of services in person and virtually over the past 2 years. Again, couldn't have done what we've been able to accomplish without them. So without further ado, I am going to introduce our student speaker for tonight. She should be very familiar to many of you. Hannah SHAILER is been a part of SLICE for the past 3 years. She completed a human services degree. She spent several pre-COVID summers volunteering in Haiti and is now a nursing student and has been so gracious as to continue to volunteer with us and work with us in many different capacities. So with that, I'm going to pass this over to Hannah to get us started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shelley, for your kind introduction. I am so grateful and lucky to be part of such an amazing team of people and love what I get to do every day at the college. Working as SLICE in the Brewer Center has and continues to be such a joy, and it's a position that brings me a lot of pride to be in. I know that I've always loved helping people, and working in the Brewer Center has only broadened my capacity to do that. I have both seen and experienced the impact that service learning has on the students in the community, as well as myself. Other students and myself alike have learned skills such as teamwork, critical thinking, leadership, communication, knowledge on civic responsibility, and so many other things that apply to everyday life, to our education, to our careers. I think one of the most beautiful things about this college and community is how diverse we are. I'm sure many of you can agree. We're all coming from different walks of life to further our education and our careers. And with that being said, it's not often an easy journey, and it takes a lot of help and a village to get through it. And sometimes you just need someone to talk to, you just need advice. With that being said, over the last 3 years, I have had the privilege to do a lot of service through SOS, our Students Serving Other Students program. And this service provides resources and assistance on a vast array of things, such as housing, homelessness, shelters, food insecurity, SNAP benefits, transportation, and so much more that I can't cover all today. But through this, I've gotten to know and help a lot of students, and it's been a beautiful journey. I've gotten to know some of the obstacles and struggles that they've had to overcome through their journey to get their degree. And it's been an honor to help these students find references and help make connections in the community. Many students have also expressed the comfort that they feel being able to talk to another student on that level, whether it's about something in the home or something in the class, being able to connect with someone who is going through somewhat of a similar journey, in the fact that we're all in class together. At the end of the day, we all have struggles, and I think that if we work together, we have an easier time coming out the other end. And I'm grateful to be part of this community and to be able to give back through SLICE. I want to say thank you to all of you, because I've been here for 3 years and it's been a long journey, and I'm starting in another journey going into the nursing program, and I wouldn't have been able to do it with all of you, and without the connections I've made with all of the other students through service learning. So thank you so much, and congratulations to the graduating class.
Thank you so much, Hannah. I'm excited that we get to have you with us a little while longer. I'm very selfish in that way, and excited for you to work with us this year to train that next generation of student volunteers who can continue to help others and grow in that leadership capacity themselves. It has been an honor to work with you the past few years, and great that I can now consider you my friend. So with that, I am going to pass it over to Dr. Jim Vanderhoeven, our president, who is going to talk about the 100+ President's Service and Volunteerism Awards. Jim?
Thank you very much, Shelley, and congratulations, Hannah, and good best wishes in the nursing program. What a great next step, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you.
With that next chapter. It's great to hear about how much the service learning component has had an impact on your life and on your experience at the Mount, because that really is at the center of what we try to bring to our students, is an understanding towards community, building community development, and your efforts have been greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. I was at a meeting last week where I can't claim this as my own statement here, but it resonated with me, where a new president of a different community college was being inaugurated. And he talked about how, when we get to this time of the year, we refer to many of our students as being heroic, that they've overcome this challenge or this experience or that experience, or just that they've been able to succeed in the face of the pandemic and everything that came along with that. But then he said, what I'm trying to center my work on is an environment where we don't need to refer to our students' success as heroic. That we have created an environment of success. We have created an environment of support that enables students to become successful no matter where they are coming from in their lives, no matter what they're trying to overcome in their lives, to a point where That is what our expected outcome is. And we have a long way to go for that. But at the same time, the students that we're honoring here this afternoon have gone above and beyond so much of what we have asked of you. You have gone above and beyond everything that could possibly be expected in light of the challenging times that we have experienced over the last couple of years. And I am so awed by, to say that I'm impressed by is an understatement. I'm awed by this group of students' ability to do so much for their community, whether it's within the college or the external North Central Massachusetts community, whatever area it is, that these students have risen above so much to do so much for their community. I'm awed by it, and I thank you. I also want to emphasize that this work is also built on a lifetime of commitment from retired Senator Steve Brewer, who we, as you all know, have named the center after. I'm not sure if Senator Brewer was able to attend this afternoon, but Senator Brewer was an individual and is an individual who's close with the college and epitomized public service, serving his community, to which I get a text message almost every week from him where he's at an event where they're dedicating something or opening something, and the work that he does is ongoing. This is a lifelong experience, and the civic engagement that you've begun here are things that we hope that you will be able to continue and carry forward with in the future. So my congratulations to everyone. I get to actually say the names of the students and present the incredible number of hours that you have all performed. It's amazing. These are just the names of the students who have reached at least 100. And the first recipient of this honor is actually Stephanie Berry. Stephanie Berry, congratulations with 100 hours. And it was great today. I actually got to meet Stephanie Berry in person for the first time, which was fantastic at the earlier ceremony. So Stephanie, congratulations and thank you. Kelly DeVillers had 301 hours of community service. Truly extraordinary. Isabella Irvin had 151 hours of service. Dan Hidalgo, 279 hours. Everybody needs to is everyone sitting? Because I'm about to say something that just might make you fall over into your chair if you're not. Paige Landry. Paige Landry with 417 hours of service. Josephine Ludwig, 150 hours. My daughter's name is Josephine, so I'm not sure if she's going to come around the corner thinking that I just called for. Yep, here she is. Here's Josephine, because I just said Josephine's name. Can you say hello? Hi. Okay. I was actually talking about another Josephine. Oh, okay. Congratulations, Josephine, 150 hours. Samina Mian with 103 hours. Robert Milkman, 311 hours. Extraordinary. Amy Willette, 379 hours. Danielle Pelletier, 174 hours. Bryant Quinn, 110 hours. Rosany Sanchez, with 151 hours. Anissa Sargent, 300 hours. Bryce Scott with 130 hours. Lindsay Smith, 162 hours. Dana Spinney, 160 hours. Joshua Surratt, 106 hours. Giovanni Toledo, 140 hours. Lindsay Williams with 319 hours. And DARA Wilson with 308 hours. Just extraordinary. And I want you all to experience just a moment of thinking about with pride the good that you are doing for your community. Thank you for your efforts, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here this afternoon, though remotely, to congratulate and thank each and every one of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Vanderhoeven, and congratulations to our students. What an incredible feat. That it really speaks volumes to your commitment to your education and to our community. And I commend you, truly. I would now like to introduce Lori Occhipinti, and she will present our Faculty Civic Engagement Award. Dean Occhipinti is a practiced anthropologist across 3 continents. Is it more yet, Lori, or is it still 3? Across 3 continents. Lori brings her love of different cultures and travel to her role as dean, supporting faculty and students in their experiences and guiding the creation of new international travel opportunities for students, faculty, and staff. Looking forward to the Iceland trip next year. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Fagan. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am delighted to be able to present the Faculty Civic Engagement Award. And I am particularly delighted to be able to honor Professor Susan Goldstein, who is the recipient for the award this year. Professor Goldstein has just recently retired from the college after about 18 years of service. She retired back in December. And I'm thrilled that although she is retired from her full-time position, she is still with us. She is still teaching for us as an adjunct. Well, we want to recognize Sue's enormous contributions to the college. And some of that is through civic engagement initiatives like the Relay for Life, which she was very, very involved in for a very long time, but particularly to recognize her role in mentoring and advising the student newspaper publication, The Mount Observer. When Susan got here, she sort of resurrected the Mount Observer, brought it back to life, and has sustained it and supported it as a really independent voice for students on our campus, with all of the thrills and challenges that that represents. I think especially now, we're really, really cognizant of the critical role of journalism in promoting civic engagement, civic understanding, and civic learning in our communities, in our state, in our nation. And so training up and coming journalists has been one of the enormous contributions from Professor Goldstein. And I'd like to turn it over to her to say a few words.
Thank you, Lori. And thanks to Shelley and the Brewer Center. And thank you to all of you who have been recognized for your participation in service learning and civic engagement. You've probably, students, you've probably heard of Mr. Rogers, and you'll recognize his famous quote, meant for times of disasters or troubles to look for the helpers. And I was thinking when I was watching all the hours that were going by that that's all of you. You are the helpers right now. And I want to thank you for that, because we need helpers more than ever right now in our world. When I first started teaching at the Mount, long before the newspaper came into existence, service learning was here, but it was in its beginning stages. And I've been fortunate to volunteer in my community throughout my adult life. I consider that just very lucky to be able to do. And so I was eager to embrace service learning, and I was trying to find a project for my college writing one class, and I couldn't find the right one. And this is going to sound really odd, but what helped me find the project was my father's death. And I know that seems really strange, but my father spent the last 3 months of his life in a local nursing home. And after he died, I went to the nursing home to pick up his personal things, and the staff was sitting around the desk reading his obituary. And they were so excited, and they were, you know, we didn't know that your father almost won the Boston Marathon in the 1940s, and we didn't know that your father was so involved in Boy Scouts. And I remember feeling really sad about that, because my father was so much more than the 3 months, those last 3 months of his life. And then I thought about all the other residents who had such interesting stories that weren't known and weren't being shared. So bingo, I had my first service learning project. And probably, although I love the student newspaper and I love what students have been able to do, particularly with First Amendment, I think that this very first project will go down in history as like one of my favorite. So we worked with the staff at the nursing home, and they paired students with residents. Students went and interviewed them to find out what their lives were like. And then we took those interviews and we put them into a book, and we passed them out to the residents at the nursing home. So you can imagine how that, when it was a domino effect, right? The staff was so happy. They were so thrilled to know more about their residents. The residents themselves could not believe that. People were asking them about their life, right? They loved sharing it. I was just so gratified because I felt that I was honoring my father in some ways, and students ended up really loving it. And some of them continued to visit these new friends for a while. So if we fast forward about 5 years ago, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my work outside of school. I've always been very passionate about animals. And so about 5 years ago, I decided, you know, I should really do something with that, particularly with animal rescue. So I began volunteering at a local cat shelter. And if you ever want to do it, it's a very glamorous job, because you get to clean out cat boxes, and you get to mop the floors and do the laundry, and you get spit at sometimes and growled at sometimes. But I have to say that when I end my shift and I close the door, I feel so gratified. I feel like I should be paying the shelter, right, for letting me do that. I feel like in my little small world that I've been able to do something that has a big impact. So why am I sharing these two experiences with you, right? This experience in the nursing home, and then this experience years later in the cat shelter. I'm doing it because you are helpers, and you will continue to help. And I feel that there's two different kinds of ways to help. One is kind of more civic oriented in a way, in that as you go through life, you may volunteer at your child's school, or you may volunteer at your workplace or in your city or town. So you may work on a committee that does fundraising. You may work for the Scholastic Book Fair, if they still have those, or run the book sale, whatever. But you'll get involved, and it may not be your passion, but you'll get involved because you're civically minded, and you know that someone needs to step up and someone needs to do that work. And so you will volunteer because you are good citizens. But what I wish for you also is the other kind of volunteering, the one that is filled with passion. And people always say to find a job that you're passionate about, but I think it's just as important to find volunteering that you're also passionate about. Because when you do, first of all, you feel gratified, and it makes you feel as if you're actually doing something concrete to help to change the world in your small corner of the earth. But your passion, because you feel passionate about it, it creates a domino effect, as you can see in the examples that I gave you. And it benefits whoever you're helping, whether it's human or animals, right? It benefits the volunteers. It extends out into your friends, your family, into the community. And that is just such a beautiful thing. And my wish for you is that you will find that at some point in your life. So congratulations again on being the helpers in the world. And my thanks again to the Brewer Center.
Well, thank you so much, Sue. We will miss you, but we're also glad you're still going to be around. I would like to next introduce our Student Service Awards. So I'm going to ask Maureen Provost, who is a professor of early childhood education and was really instrumental in helping us honor Hillary Bartlett Newsome with by naming this award after her, and the great connections that Maureen still has with her family and all the powerful work they're still doing in the community on her behalf. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our very own Maureen Provost to present that award.
Thank you, Shelley, and congratulations to all the award winners. And Sue, thanks for that reference to Mr. Rogers. What a great follow-up. And I apologize for work that's being done in my street, so I will speak loudly and hopefully you can hear me. So Hillary Bartlett Newsome was an active member of the MWCC community, early ed community, and the whole community really, who tragically passed away in 2017. She was a club officer, she was an advocate, she was a helper, she was passionate, and she was very involved in service both at MWCC when she continued her degree, and then she was also a military spouse. And as she moved around and was working in her profession, she stayed in touch and touched base with us when she came home, and was just a bubbly, bright early childhood educator. And thank you for, on behalf of her family too, and for the Brewer Center for having this happen, because her legacy will continue as long as we are able to present this award to people who are well deserving, and many people are. So I found a paper, because I never clean my email out, and I should, from 2013 that Hillary wrote. And I was thinking that some of her thoughts describe our nominee, who this year is Gina Burke. Gina is a mom, a wife, an essential worker. She works childcare, and a community member, and just someone who really has the characteristics that are similar to Hillary and the kind of educator and leader she was. Like Hillary, Gina believes in serving, leading, and always growing as an educator. Gina is this kind of professional, and that's evidenced by her work and dedication to young children and families and our human race. She has remained in the field that is too frequently not valued by society, and has continued serving as an essential worker despite a multitude of challenges in this moment in history. And I can't help think about like Gina. I feel like I'm in the room with you, so I'm speaking with my hands. She always wants to learn more about trauma-informed care, about how this moment in history is affecting children, about how this is affecting families. I remember I gave her an assignment on anti-bias education in early ed, and her really just on a weekend when she was doing her work, sending an email speaking to how powerful that assignment was. It spoke to identity and diversity and justice and advocacy. And we all know that that next generation of the littles, as Shelley calls them, are going to be the people that are going to lead us into the future. And Gina's doing that work now. She's very humble about her work, but she's always wanting to learn. And even now she's graduating, but she's like, I want to do more. I want to keep going. And that's really what we need. So I met her in our first course as a learner in our Pathways in Education grant. She came in, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, wanting to not simply, but get a certification lead teacher certified. And she continued on through her certificate and her associate's degree. She is always willing to learn. She's always willing to serve. She continues to advocate for children and families, and she provides outstanding education for all of these people. She is kind, she is energetic, she's intelligent, she's reflective, and she's empathetic. She understands the diverse challenges that the field faces, and she rises to the occasion with passion and dedication to her chosen field. And I don't know who said this, but a webinar that I went to during pandemic spoke to an occupation. And for GINA, this is her occupation. She truly, truly has been impactful. She worked with us on club events until we took a little hiatus because our people were a little overwhelmed. And she continues to ask, what else can I do, by volunteering and saying, how can I help other early educators? How can I mentor? And that's the kind of people we need in the world. Gina's thanking us in the chat. Gina, I thank you, and I look forward to continuing to see you and welcoming you back to the Garrison Center when we are able to bring everyone back. And I appreciate everything that you do. And thank you so much for taking time today to be with us, because I don't know what you had to do with the littles. They're there probably around her knees while she's here with us. So thank you so much. Thank you to the Brewer Center and everybody for making this happen. And I think that's it for me. So thank you. And congratulations, Gina, and congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Maureen. I love you.
Love you back.
We love you, Maureen. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I forgot to mention that you were one of our Brewer Center fellows this year, as was Michelle in their previous position. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that as well. I am now going to pass this over to Sue Meager, who's going to present the next couple of awards. So take it away, Sue.
Okay, can you hear me? I had technical difficulties earlier. Okay, Giovanni Toledo is the recipient of the Service Learning Award. And it was clear right from the beginning that due to Gio's confident, highly competent, and independent personality, that the Food for Thought Food Pantry was going to be able to go back to being a student-run enterprise for the first time since March in 2020. During his internship in the food pantry, Gio has brought the exact right combination of hard work, organizational skills, creativity, communication skills, and insight to not only be able to staff the pantry, to be able to handle the inventory, help recruit new members, train fellow students, and be a welcoming presence to our food pantry members. Needing minimal direction and instinctively knowing how to best organize and display the pantry's wares, Gio has kept the Food for Thought a welcome, inviting, easy to navigate source of food, diapers, and hygiene items. He thrives when things are busy, easily multitasks, and can quickly restock shelves so that the next students who enter an organized, welcoming pantry space. Gio also utilizes his leadership skills and compassion by tutoring other students at the Mount. Planning to further his education and obtain his degree in Human Services at Fitchburg State, Gio's considering becoming an academic advisor in a college setting when he graduates. Whatever his future holds, with his poise, caring, intelligence, and confidence, he is destined to have an amazing impact on the lives of all he comes in contact with. So congratulations, Gio. It has been just a real pleasure to work with you.
Thank you so much, Sue. And now we are going to move on to the Community Partner of the Year.
Okay, the top 10 reasons the Worcester County Food Bank is Mount Wachusett Community College's community partner for 2022. Number one, we have the honor of being the first college to partner with the Worcester County Food Bank, doing our first pickup in April of 2019. Number two, the best part of every month is going to and picking up food at the food bank. Number three, the food bank staff are genuinely welcoming and helpful and are grateful that programs like ours are getting food out to those in need. Number four, although they always have the staples of canned goods and pasta, etc., there's a weird special joy that comes in finding extras like jelly or cooking oil or even leftover Easter candy that you know the students are going to be excited about. Number five, moving hundreds of pounds of food each month from pallet to trolley, trolley to conveyor belt to car, car to cart, cart to food pantry, and food pantry to our shelves help keep our staff fit and tired. Number 6, food for thought. Our food pantry would not be able to remain open, let alone thrive, if we were relying solely on donations and occasional food drives. It is the monthly food from the food bank that keeps us in business and better serving our students. Number 7, this partnership allowed us to open a second branch of Food for Thought on our Leominster campus beginning in September of 2021. Number 8, in addition to the food, the Worcester County Food Bank provides us with gift cards at the holidays for our students, monetary donations throughout the year. They also provide monthly updates on the changes and challenges facing Massachusetts residents who are facing food insecurity and other issues. Number 9, because of our partnering with the food bank, 291 unique students and their 1,047 family members receive food and support since our collaboration began. And number 10, Dave Reed, the interim chief operating officer, and the other staff have made the Serve Safe trainings and other trainings, even our inspections, fun and enlightening. So it is with great pleasure that we name the Worcester County Food Bank as Mount Wachusett Community Partner of 2022, and Dave Reed is here to accept the award.
Sue, I want a copy of that list.
Absolutely.
Absolutely need to have a copy of that list. That was wonderful. Thank you. And I just want to say thank you. We are honored to be honored by you. You've been such wonderful and amazing partners over the years, and just we are thrilled to be supporting you, not only in helping address food insecurity on campus, but also supporting the work that you're doing, which is also addressing the root causes of food insecurity and poverty through education. And just, we really think that's such an incredible work that you're doing with your students. And we're glad that we're able to be a small part of that. And we look forward to many, many more years to come on this partnership.
Thank you.
I can't help myself. I want to just jump in and say, me too. Thank you, Dave, so much for everything. And I will say, I never see an expiration date without thinking of you. Thanks
Good.
to our training. Thank you.
It's good. The food's good.
Thank you, Dave, and congratulations to the Worcester County Food Bank. What an enormously important partnership this is for us, and we are so grateful for it every single day. I would now like to introduce almost our final award, the introduction for our final award, Leanne Scales, who is our Vice President for Enrollment and Public Affairs and the woman who convinced me to come to MWCC 16 years ago. Leanne provides energetic leadership for marketing, communications, public affairs, public relations, our K-12 partnerships, and oversees strategic design and operation of all of those areas, as well as enrollment, advising, college access, early college. The woman has her thumbs in many different pies. She's an absolute rock for our division and truly never tires of opportunities to do new and innovative work with and for our students. Welcome, Leanne.
Thank you so much, Fagan, and welcoming you and enticing you to come to the Mount was one of the happiest days of my career. And Dave, I know everybody's thanked you, but I remember the day we heard about the partnership with Worcester County Food Bank and how much everyone knew what a game changer that was going to be. So thank you so much. I have, I think, the best job today because the story you're going to hear of this student is not only such a wonderful story, but it exemplifies so well what many of our students' lives are like. So, Shelley has already told you that despite the pandemic and everything, 91,000 hours of service. And then when we stop to think that those hours of service are often layered on top of family responsibilities, work responsibilities, and by family, I mean children, parents who need care. I mean jobs that have unusual hours that students have no control over. So when I hear a story like I have here of Barrett Hansen, it's like hearing it all over again. We've heard amazing stories from our students over the years, but this one is really stunning. So Barrett served in the Army, And like many folks who came out of the military, he decided to pursue a career in firefighting, which he did. And then he thought, I should probably, because he was always bettering himself. He was interested in learning more about firefighting, how to make it safer for, his colleague firefighters, how to be better in his job. And he said, I'm going to go to the Mount. They have this great fire science program. So he's a firefighter, and I know you know how stressful that job is and how uncertain. So you can be doing your 24-hour shift and all of a sudden discover you've got a 48-hour shift that you didn't know about when you started the 24-hour shift. He also is dad to 4 kids. So he's got 4 kids, he's got a demanding job, and he still decides that his community needs him. And like everything Sue Goldstein said, he found passion projects that were important to him, important to his family, important to his community. So he serves and volunteers with the Disabled American Veterans Group. He also serves at his American Legion in Baldwinville. And Sue Meager, I know you'll love this, his volunteer work there is an awful lot around food distribution. So he's been packing up food and helping families there. He also helps distribute food at his church, the Episcopal Church in Winchendon, once a month. And he's a member of the Patriot Riders, and that's a veteran support group that helps veterans and their families. So I think that this kind of service, when you think of what kind of a life you have, it's so stunning. And the reason we're recognizing Barrett is because we are awarding him the SHARYN Rice Award. And SHARYN Rice worked at Mount Wachusett for decades. She was a vice president. She worked in development. She worked in alumni affairs. She worked in marketing. She worked in K-12 partnerships. And service and civic engagement was centrally important to her. And when she retired, in recognition of the high standards she placed on service, this annual award for a student was established. Now, earlier, when I started talking, I peaked, and Barrett, I didn't think was here yet, which I totally understand given his incredible schedule. But if he was able to make it here in time, I wanted to give him an opportunity to say hello. And Shelley, I'm not seeing him. I'm just scrolling through.
I don't think so. I know he said he was going to attend, but with that kind of schedule and 4 kids.
I certainly understand.
But we are recording this, so we'll be.
We are. And so I want, I want Barrett and his 4 kids and his fellow firefighters all to know how much we deeply appreciate and value his service and the example that he set. And I want everybody to give a big round of applause to Barrett Hansen. Well deserved.
Thank you so much, Leanne. And how about a big round of applause for all of our award winners tonight? We are lucky to have you and feel incredibly blessed that you all have been able to continue this important work over the past few years when it's needed more than ever. I am excited to see many of you walk across the stage. It is exciting that we're going to be having a graduation again. And I know that this is a very exciting time for you and for your families. And I'm just so glad that the Brewer Center could be a small part of those celebrations. I want to, before I pass it on to Fagan for her closing remarks, I did want to do a little housekeeping and let everyone know, if you have not already received your awards in the mail, you can either schedule to pick them up from the Brewer Center, or we will mail them out to you, including the checks. I hate to say it, the checks are in the mail. And all of you should have already received your graduation regalia. If for some reason you haven't, please stop by the Brewer Center tomorrow or Wednesday, and we will be sure that you get it. So I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, for taking the time to honor our students, and for the incredible impact that our students have been able to have on one another and our community. With that, I will turn it over to Fagan for her to say her farewell.
Not much I can say to top that, but thank you all so much for taking the time to be here. This is one of those weeks that is exhausting and rewarding, and absolutely why we do this work. And it is so humbling to hear the stories of our students, and for me personally, to really just get that reinforcement. It fills my cup. I get that reinforcement. You're in the right place. you are doing your occupation. So thank you for filling my cup. Thank you for being here this evening. And I very much look forward to seeing you later this week at some of our in-person events. Congratulations.
Before we go, can I ask for a big round of applause for Fagan and Shelley and Michelle and Sue for the amazing work that they do at the Brewer Center. You guys just every day, you take my breath away.
Thank you. Thank you. So this recording will be posted on social media and on the website. So if you know of someone who was being honored and couldn't be here, please let them know, and we will definitely get the word out as well, because we want as many people as possible to hear your wonderful stories and all the great contributions that you have made. So with that, we are going to sign off and say congratulations, go get some sleep. It's going to be a busy week. Thank you all.